before we get started, a couple of things housekeeping wise. As I said, that this is our first Thursday night training, and from now on, Gary and I are going to be doing training. There will be no more training on Saturdays at this point. That may change. Things change as we grow, right? But from now on, Thursday nights at this time. So you want to get that out. All those people that know that I have a Facebook profile know that I post on Facebook on a daily basis. It's right there. So that profile tells you the night and the time and the type of training that we provide. And the reason that we do this is very simple. The easiest reach that you will ever have with network marketing people in MLMs, it doesn't matter what they're in, is free training. And when we talk about free training, we're talking about training that 90% of you have never seen. And a lot of you that have not seen this will never see it because we don't get taught these things in school that we went to. You know, maybe if you went to a trade school, you got taught some very specific skill sets. Okay, so we are talking about training like Facebook, what I call Facebook Marketing 101. Okay, well, we teach all kinds of skill set training that you need to have to run a business. Give me a one. Give me a one if you understand that you need to learn how to run a business before you can what? Make money in a business. Does that make sense? Give me a one. I think that probably makes sense. We've got we've got 250 folks here. Welcome everybody. Welcome. So this is why we do the training. Okay, and we do the training for everybody. Okay, so the first part of our training platform is always totally 100% generic, and we do not talk about our company, and we don't allow you to talk about our company. Okay, we will get to that. So part of housekeeping, no links, no emails, no phone numbers. I would also ask you to not be putting questions or crosstalk about our company in the chats now, not even to us as panelists. I would appreciate you holding. So hold all questions about our company till we get to the Q&A part of this call. So first things first, we've got that out of the way. We've also talked already about if you were just late coming in now and you don't know, scroll down at the very bottom, click on where it says show captions, click on closed captions, find your language that you need or want, click on that, and you should be seeing what I'm saying right now in your language. Okay, I think we can get started. So why is it important? Why is it important for you to learn how to run a business? And this is the topic that I want to talk about tonight before I give it over to Gary, before we get the senior leadership team involved tonight. And I'm going to actually let the senior leadership give us their understanding of why it's important. And I'm going to kind of be the last one on this. So Craig, why is it important to you and your team that you have in your business that they have to learn how to run a business?
G'day, Bob, and welcome. Good morning to everybody. To me, it's really important that everyone understands how to run a business and what it takes to run a business. A lot of you probably don't know that for 5 months we've been working 14 hours a day, 7 days a week to build this business and to help our team with the big word of the day for me is duplication. Because if you don't know how to duplicate, you can't grow your business. I did put a bit of a duplication process in the team going back last week that anyone can build a team of 1,000 or more in 12 months if you keep to simple duplication. If you start with one and in 30 days you sign one up, you now have two. If both of you sign one up in 30 days, you now have four. The following month is 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. And that is all in 12 months. So, but the key to this is, if you notice, everyone on the team works. So the biggest misconception is that the business works. Yeah, it does work and it does pay us. But the reality is that the business is not the one that goes to work. It's the team member that goes to work. But they can't go to work if they don't know how. So this is what part of this training is tonight, is how, and simple discussions with people. I must get 20, 30 or 40 different business opportunities in my Facebook group every single week. Like, to me personally, I reply very courteously back. Sorry, I'm not looking. I have over 9,000 team I have to look after in my own business. But thank you for taking the time and care to ask me to join your business, but I'm perfectly okay and you have a great week. Now, what have I done there? Not once did I mention the company I work for, not once. They will now go away and go, oh, he's got 9,000 team. Now, if they're in the looking zone, they're going to come back to me and go, what is it you do? Now, that's your opening to then talk about your business. Irregardless of what business you're in, that gives you an open invitation to then openly talk to them, and they're coming to you. You're not going to them. You have a better chance of a sign up that way at all times. I'll let Bob talk about the Facebook side of things. But to me, if you can't do the basics, but you need that to learn how to copy duplication. The minute you learn how to copy duplication, there is no stopping you and your team. But I have a lot of team go, but where's my team? No, we don't build your team for you. We help you and guide you so that you can learn how to build your team. And then we'll help your team duplicate that as well. So most of my day is just talking to team, teaching them how to duplicate a simple process. And the minute you do that and you look after your team, forget the money. Doesn't matter what business you're in. Totally forget the money. That's irrelevant. If you look after your team, get a simple duplication process in place, the money will automatically start going back to you because you've done all the hard work of your team. But your team must come first. Anyway, that's my little bit, Bob.
Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. And just remember, folks, in order to run a real business, and trust me when I tell you, if you do not treat whatever business that you have as a real business, then you will never be successful, ever. So I hope that you're taking notes. And yes, this is recorded. And yes, it will be available about 24 hours later for those that are going to need the recording. But what's important is that you have to get seriously serious about the fact that what you have in your hands, no matter what it is, I don't care if it's a product driven company. I don't care if you are an influencer or you are someone that is a product developer. It doesn't matter. Okay. It's all the same. It's a business, and you have to understand business acumen in order to work your business in a way that will allow you to become successful. Okay. There's a whole lot of moving parts underneath the platform of business and running a business. All right. But I can tell you what it's not. Running a business is not taking your link to your product company, to your affiliate company, to whatever company, and throwing it in Facebook for everybody in the world to choke on. And I say that with all due respect, but that's the fact. We call it regurgitating. Okay. So we call it spamming. So here is a gold nugget. Write this down. When you are contacting a person in Facebook and you reach out to talk to someone, the first thing you do not do is, here's my business. This is how much money I'm making. Do you want to join? And I can't tell you how many thousands of people over the last 15 years that I've been marketing on Facebook that I've had to correct this behavior. And I still see it today. If you take an affiliate link, here's another gold nugget. Gold nugget number 2, Facebook marketing. If you take your affiliate link and you start posting it on your profile in different groups, you will do 2 things. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Facebook jail. Write that down. You will go to Facebook jail. As simple as that. The second thing you're going to do is potentially harm the owner of that link that you're an affiliate of. Why do I say that? Because Facebook will shut that link down from ever being able to be used again on Facebook. So do yourself a favor. Do not promote your affiliate link ever. Write that down. Do not promote your affiliate link ever. Go out, be smart business ladies and gentlemen, and buy a domain to protect your link, to protect yourself. Now, Big Al, what is your take on the reason you need to know how to run a business to actually be successful in business?
The number one reason, Bob, has got to be you're in business or in life helping people to solve problems. That's what people are looking for, to have a particular pain point solved for them. And it's usually through a business mechanism that you get that message out to the world. Here are the pain points that I can solve for you. Now, the other thing, and you've mentioned it many times, is that if you're not in business, you're working for the government. And the government has no concession. Your employer will take out your tax contributions every single payday, whether you like it or not. And whilst that's fine, that does keep the countries that we live in going. The same people that make the rules don't actually follow the employee type constraints that they have. And what I mean by that is, in business, you have the opportunity to choose when you pay your taxes, and you also have the ability to make business related deductions for running your business, which means you're not paying for these things from post-tax dollars, you're actually paying them from pre-tax dollars. So it gives you a massive upswing on your cash flow. Now, I understand that many of us are not going to be running a full-time business. I personally have been running full-time business since I was a wee tacker, but certainly in all of my working life, I've always had a side business, not just a hustle, but a business, a legitimate business with a business name, with a tax file number. And I may have taken some employment along the way, when, you know, I got married and I needed more money for my children. But I've always had that business, which has allowed me a certain standard of living above and beyond just being an employee. So there is a perfect opportunity here for people to register a business name if they choose, and to take the advantage of all the deductions that are available to anybody who runs a business, legitimate deductions. And I'm not saying, you know, that you do anything illegal. You certainly shouldn't be doing that. But you should be doing things legally, running a business and minimizing the money that you have to pay if you're just a simple employee. So that's my take on running a business. It gives you the biggest advantage in life that you could ever have. And especially with this opportunity that that we have online. So thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Big Al. Let me ask you a couple of questions. So you have been running businesses, literally running businesses, for how long?
50 years, just about.
Okay. And before you actually started running the first business, whatever that was, what did you have to do?
Either have an idea or an opportunity.
Well, you had to learn. It's just like I
Oh,
talk to people about their job. So let me rephrase it. So I don't work in the job world anymore. Okay. Job is, by the way, write this down. Job is just over broke.
broke.
Period. And the job is your 40-year plan that benefits not you, not your family, but the person that's paying your wages, that's paying your paycheck. And what you're doing working that job is you're trading time for money. That's all you're doing. And so you are literally, because of old school mentality, willing to spend 40 years of your life working for someone else and working for someone else's dream. You're not fulfilling your dream, right, Big Al? There's no way that you're going to fulfill your dream if you are only working for somebody else to get a paycheck to just do what? What does a paycheck do, Al? What do we know that a paycheck, whether it's by the week, by the month, or by the 2 months, what does that paycheck only do for us?
It usually keeps you in debt.
Yes. Now,
you know,
now listen,
that's
folks.
the most important side.
Listen to what Big Al just said. Big Al could have said, well, what it does is it pays for your rent. What it does is that it puts groceries on your table. What it does is it pays your utilities. And yes, in fact, your job does all these things. But what Big Al is telling you puts you in debt. Now, I'm going to qualify that. The reason it puts you into debt is because you want more. Give me a 2 if you want more out of life than just what your job's paycheck is paying you right now. Give me a 2. I'm going to prove this to you. I'm going to prove it to you right now. I'm going to prove to you that if you think for 1 second that your job that you're working is going to fulfill the dreams that you have or that you want to have for you and your family's future, I'm going to prove to you it's absolutely wrong. You are fulfilling the dreams of someone, but they're not going to be yours. A job is just what a job is. A paycheck that you get to bring home based on a couple of factors. Some of it is skill. but most of it is the fact that you show up on time and go to work. So I'm gonna share something a lot of you don't want to hear from me. I'm gonna share something very significant because I see too much of this. And it doesn't matter what company you're working with, what product you're marketing. Okay, what matters is, do you treat your side gig, do you treat your side business, do you treat the business that you are trying to learn to promote like you treat the job that you go for your paycheck? And I'm going to tell you, the majority of you, I hope, can say yes, that you do. But if it's based on what I see in this industry, it is absolutely not. Because if you treated this business, whatever this business is that you're trying to make extra money from, the way I see you're treating it, and I'm your boss, you're fired. I would fire you on the spot. Now, I know you don't like hearing that, and I get it. I don't like having to say it. But in fact, it's a true statement. Because a lot of you on this call right now think that this is a joke. You think that this is a plaything. You think that this is a part-time gig. You think that you can just get up and go to work and come home and take your affiliate link and throw it out there and see if it sticks. And then when it doesn't, you cry to your sponsor, you cry to your mentor, you cry to yourself. And most of all, you're just lying to yourself. Now, I know people don't want to hear me say these kind of things, but that doesn't matter. And I'm going to tell you why. I had to learn the hard way. First of all, I got to ask a question before we go any farther. How many of you on this call have no relationship with our business and are here as a guest? Give me a 1 if you're here as a guest. You're not part of our business, but you are part of a business that you're trying to learn how to market. Give me a 1 if you're just a guest. I need to see how many real guests that we have. I guess we don't. That's a 2, Raul. So does that mean that you are a guest or you are a member of some business? So, and again, we're not talking about any particular business right now, so we'll keep that to ourselves for now. So if we don't have any guests, that's fine. So now I'm going to get back to where we're going with this. Where we're going with this is that you have to understand how to run a business. If you are a manager in the company that you work, so give me a, we're not talking about that company right now, Mr. Kumar. I've said this 100 times already. Please do not put company names in this chat. That's not the time for it. And if you can't comply, I'm going to ask you to leave. And yes, I said that in front of everybody because we've been very nice about this. This is a safe, free zone. Let me repeat myself. The reason that we're doing this training is it's a safe, free zone for all. We don't use this training to recruit you. We don't use this training to try to convince you to leave your company or whatever you're doing to come to ours. And if anybody tells you that, I want you to tell me, and I want to know who they are, because that's not what this is about. What this is about is the opportunity that you get to take and be taught very, very good lessons of life and lessons of business acumen that you absolutely have no clue. I'm just telling you, you are not going to get the kind of training that we provide, and we're not even getting started yet. we are not even getting started yet. Okay. So back to, I want Gary.
Yes, sir.
Gary, I want you to give your perspective on why you have to learn how to run a company and what you have to learn how to do to run that company before you become successful and own a company.
Well, I actually was fortunate enough to grow up with a grandfather and father that were both in business. And one of the lessons that they taught me, one of my dad's favorite sayings is a job will only accomplish two things in life, no matter how long you work there. You can own a home and you can own a vehicle or two. That's your total accomplishment that any job will give you, period. Nothing more and nothing farther except one other element. If I were to ask an audience how many people that are listening tonight have 1, 2, 3, 4 or more credit cards that have a balance on every credit card in your wallet, give me a 3 if you fall in that category. Now, we're going to be honest here, okay? We want everybody to be honest. This is how we learn when we're honest with each other. See, you accumulated that debt because you desired things that what your job did not provide you, right? It didn't provide you enough, or you would have no debt on the credit card. You'd pay it off every month, correct? So if you had income coming in, why would you leave a balance on your card? Everybody follow that? Ah, there's a smart man that knows a credit card. Yes, we get crazy high credit limits. That's the trap. The trap is to get us to buy things we can't actually afford to own except by credit. So owning your business, you have to have done several things in to develop the skill set. And guess what the first one is? What's the first rule that has to happen for you to learn how to successfully run a business? This is we contribute here, right? So throw some guesstimates in the chat for me. What do you think the first thing has to happen for you to be able to be successful in any business? Anybody want to take a guess? Mindset, that's good. Know your market's good, but everybody's missing the point. You have to have failed at something before you can succeed at that. You have to have at least failed at least one time to succeed at that desired opportunity or business model. I can't tell you how many times I failed. Okay? But I never gave up. And the fact I didn't give up allowed me to succeed in many businesses. Okay? There's no magic bullet. Here's the biggest thing that we do. What is it that we do that's the biggest mistake we'll ever make? We don't follow what success is. People that have a successful model, they try and teach you that model, but we're smarter than the people trying to teach us, so we think we can reinvent the wheel. We get to do it our way, right? We don't want to learn from what works because we think we're smarter than that. We're going to improve on what they do. And how often has that succeeded for you? Okay? We're all on here learning because we didn't follow the system. If you follow the systems, they're successful. Let me ask a quick question for you guys out there. How many have been through 3 or 4 of these trainings that we've done consistently? Give me a 2 if you've been at least 3 or 4 trainings in the past couple months. How many of you put it into practice and have recruited at least or sponsored somebody from what you learned? Give me a 4 if you actually sponsored somebody from what you picked up. Okay? See the number 4s, folks? This is the benefit of training. This is where the payoff is. They're following the system the way it was designed to work. And in the end result is a level of success. So for those that you can see the number of fours in the chat, these are people that have plugged into the system and have at least sponsored one or more people or invited, however you want to say it, with some of the things we've been teaching. Okay? Is now let's take it in reverse. For those of you on the call, maybe you haven't been to a bunch of the trainings and you have that shyness that we all started with, afraid to pick up the phone, afraid to talk to a neighbor, afraid to talk to your friends and show them what you found, even though you were excited. If you fall in that category, give me a 5 if you've ever fell in that category in the past or even now. Okay? The phone weighs what? 35 pounds when you pick it up to try and call somebody? Right? Everybody had that experience? Guess what, guys? We're going to teach you a method. I don't know if we'll get to it today. We're going to teach you a method to text your opportunity to somebody already interested in your opportunity. Do you think that might be somewhat effective if you're shy? Give me a 6 if we might have your attention with that. If that shyness is stopping you from your dreams, you have to overcome it. Okay? You have to overcome it. And so how do you overcome something of that nature? Some of you have heard my story. I was called an introvert, and I really was an introvert. I was so shy, and I took a sales job of all things. Okay? That's got to be somebody, an introvert's greatest fear. You know, it took me an hour to overcome it because money was stronger than my fear, or it became stronger than my fear. Okay, at that time. So, everybody see where I'm headed with that? No matter what your alibi or what your wall is or what your weakness is, you could do something. There's always a way to get around the wall. You could climb over it, you could walk around it, or you could take a sledgehammer and knock a hole in it. But you can get through it if you choose to take that path and take action, right? For those of you on the call, what's your missing step? I just told you what it is. You didn't take action. If you do not, in your business, whatever that business is, whether it's ours or a different one, the missing element is the action element. The action element. No action equals what? Come on, folks. No action equals what? No results. Failure. So think of it from the past. Everyone on this call has stuck people in a business. They were there for 3 or 4 months with you. They didn't make any money. And what did they do? They dropped out. Right? That's what happens. How many of you have dropped out because you weren't making any money in some deal or another? Right? You didn't get any training. You didn't make any money. And you got tired of putting auto ship money into the company every single month. In November come, you're about to get stuck with Christmas buying season. Something's got to give, and it's always going to be the auto ship, right? Does that make sense? People fail when they don't make money. They drop out. They quit. Right? There you go, Marcia. Step out in faith, right? Do whatever it takes to get past those walls. Now, as we progress in our training, like I said, we're going to teach you how to actually get text and phone numbers and text people and get them to respond in numbers because they're already interested in the industry. Does that make sense, everybody? Now, Bob happens to be a pro in email marketing. So if you happen to have the phone number, the text, and that person's email, you not only can send them a text with your short message and maybe a video, and you could take and email that person, hey, did you get my text? When would be a good time to get together and talk about it? What do you think your response might be, guys? What kind of percentage would you think that you could pull out of somebody that's already interested in the industry? Come on, we can speculate a little bit here, right? Well, how many people open a text message and see what it's about when your phone buzzes? It's closer to 90, Pete. Bobby K's got it right. It's 90 up in the 90s. Okay. How many people open an email? Five? I bet it's about 3% open every email. If they don't know you, chances are they might not ever open it. But if your message in your email says, did you get my text to phone number XYZ, you think you might open it because it's got his phone number in it or her phone number in it? Are we starting to make any sense, guys? Will this method get you past the wall that some of you may have? Okay. We have access, and we're going to share this with the group next week. We'll make a list up of where you can get these type of leads for about 20 cents a piece. Okay. I think that's a little high. I think you can get them cheaper if you shop around or you bargain with them. Okay. But those type of lists are available out there in this industry, even specific to the type. You could get anywhere from travel to biometrics to health products, you name it, whatever niche in the opportunity markets out there, they have it broken down. You can get them by states, you can get them by US, Canada, you could get them worldwide, it doesn't matter. Does that start to make a little sense, guys? A lot of them, and most of them, will be phone verified. In some cases, double verified. Does everybody know what double verified is in the list? It simply means they were contacted at least twice by phone and verified it. They wanted to hear about different opportunities. They're not double opt-in, they're double phone verified. That's a different thing, Aaron. But you're pretty close. Double opt-in just means they had to opt in twice to be on a list. That's all that means. But double phone verified means they were called at least twice after a period of time to see if they were still interested. Okay, so it just gauges their interest level. That's all it does. Okay. Uh, Francisco, if you send out 200 invitation links, no one would click the link unless your message is correct. Okay. So let's touch on that a little bit before we turn this back over and send it back to Bob's way. Your message has to be of value to the person, no matter what company they have. So your message before you send the invitation out should be free training to learn how to not only succeed in opportunity, but to never fail again, no matter what company you represent. Information in these webinars are found nowhere else, even in the highest of paid courses. We will present this information free without trying to cross promote or change your company. Safe, free zone. Then you have your training link. Now, when you send this invitation out, how are you sending it out? I'm assuming by mail, right? Or you do it through Messenger. Now, here's what will happen if they click the link after the webinar is over. It'll register them for the next one, and they'll get an email telling them about the next webinar. That's all I can do.
Hey, Gary,
Yes,
while we're talking about that, let me ask a quick question.
sure.
Francisco, everybody here, how many of you would like to know the exact step-by-step process where when you send out an invitation link, you will get at least 9 out of 10 of these people that will accept your invitation and come to your free training? Give me a 1. Give me a 1. This is what Gary's talking about.
I better not see anything but ones.
Yeah, because if this is not your goal, and if your goal is not to every week bring at least one new person with you, because there's no guest on here tonight.
Here's one. We have one.
Was there one? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that saddens me because my challenge was last week, and I told everybody last week the challenge was set. Everybody bring at least one new guest, just one. Craig told you about how duplication works and the numbers. If you bring one new guest and they come and they get any kind of gold nugget that they can take and apply, and then they will come back because they do every week here. There's people that come here every week, week in and week out, because they have taken some of what we teach. They go out and apply it. They become successful with it. And let me tell you something. Success is in steps. It is not overnight. Right, Gary?
That's 100% factual.
It is in steps. In America, when we have babies, we know that they get to a point where they're going to start crawling. And then once they start crawling, we know that they're going to get to a point where they're going to start trying to stand up and get their balance. This is an analogy to how you have to learn your business acumen to apply it in what we do. Doesn't matter what you're doing. We're going to wrap this up for the first part in just a minute. And when you get up and you get stable, okay, you get stable, and now you can start walking, right? Because that's what a baby does. Think about it in these terms. You are a child in your process, in your journey, until you become what? You become a toddler, and then you become a young child, and then you start growing up, right? And you start learning the ways of your life. This is in business as well. Exactly, Patricia. Crawl, walk, and then run. And then once you pick up enough information that every time that you test something, you're more successful than not. You push away what's not successful, and you what? You focus and scale. Okay. Give me a 1 if you understand what I'm saying. You focus and scale on what is successful. If you don't understand what I'm talking about when I say scale, scaling your business, give me a 2. I want you to understand where we're going with all this.
Hey, Bob,
Yep.
I'm gonna revert back just for a second so we don't lose it. Look back, if we look back in the chat and when I asked the question, how many people have applied what they've learned over the last 3 or 4 weeks and have had success with it, we had a great number of people that put their 4s in when we asked that question. So for people that are somewhat new or you haven't had that level of success, what we're showing you is people that started in the same place on this training that you are today, no matter where you're at. A great number of people started in the same place, they just started earlier than you. And when you look back at that number that have turned around and started to actually taste success and have a foundation that they're starting to build, look at the percentage, and that should encourage you.
That's correct, Terry. That's correct. And Gary's absolutely correct. Because we have track records and we have a following that we've been building for what we've been doing
5
training
months.
for 5 months.
5 months.
5 months. Okay. And we're going to get to some things that we're going to prove to you why this training platform works. You know, it's not just Gary and I. I've got a couple of people I'm going to pick out that can give you testimony on what they've been able to do. So we'll hold that thought. But long story short of this first hour is I wanted everybody to get an understanding of the fact that, first of all, in order to decide that you want to get serious about the business that you have to learn everything about it, inside and out. If you're a product-driven company, you have to learn. This is a gold nugget. Write this down. If you are a product-driven company, you have to become a product of the product. Write that down. If you are marketing a product or a series of products, you will not be successful until you become a product of the product. What does that mean? What does that mean, Bruce? What does that mean, becoming a product of the product? Anybody? Just throw that out there. I want somebody in the audience here to let me know what I mean by that. Use it. Okay? So I will tell you, here's another gold nugget. Here's a gold nugget. Better write it down. If you are trying to sell your product or products to potential customers, you're doing it all wrong.
Absolutely. You know what you're missing? You're selling features. People don't buy features.
If you're selling anything, the first thing you got to understand is quit selling. You don't sell anything. And Gary is absolutely right. If you're going to feature, you feature the benefits. Write this down. Feature the benefits of your product or service. People don't care about the fact that your product or your service is XYZ and it costs XYZ. They don't care about that. And they don't care that you've made $10,000 a month from it. You may think that they do, but they do not, because you are doing it all wrong. Bill King is right. You will provide a solution to a challenge or a problem. I will give you a very good example. I have had a challenge losing and maintaining my weight forever. So 14 months ago, I weighed 327 pounds. I was completely out of shape, completely out of whack. Every system I got is trashed. And I got to the point where I didn't care. I'm going to tell you this story because it's personal. And every one of you got a personal story that you have to be able to tell. And this is part of what I'm talking about. And this goes to branding also. Write this down. This goes to branding, that you have to tell a personal story. That is the audience that you want to attract, that will want to see your personal story. Why? Because they can relate to your personal story. And so my weight loss journey from 14 months ago is very simple. I found a product company and I did what? What did I do, Bruce? You already told the world. I became a product of the product. I started using them. Okay. Now, I have never, ever, Bruce knows this about me. Gary knows this about me. Craig knows this about me. Big Al knows this about me. They know that I've never, ever promoted a product ever online, ever. Oh, yes, I've got links that will go to a health assessment screening for my product line. Yes, I do. I have got links that will go to a way to let you shop to see if any of the products that I use and promote may be of benefit to you. Do you hear what I just said? Write that down. What did I just say? Do I have opportunity to share products or a product that had a major impact on my life and benefit that does what? It completes and eliminates a challenge and provides an absolute solution that people are looking for. This is called problem solving. Write this down. You have to become problem solvers. You are solvers of problems, period. You are not sellers. You are not gurus. You're not any of these things, because nobody cares about you. I'm going to tell you straightforward. The minute you folks on this call think that you're going to take what you've got and you're going to go and text and say, hey, join my whatever, join my this YZ company. Hey, this product is excellent. This product has got this and it's got that and it's got this and it don't got that and it's only this much money. Please buy it. And then you turn around and you do what? What do? You start crying. You start whining. Hey, the product is no good. The product don't work. It's too expensive. It's too this. It's too that. You're wrong. You're all absolutely wrong. Write this down. You have to decide what you are. And I want you to say this, write this down. I am who I am, and that is good enough. Write that down. I am who I am, and that is good enough. Trust me when I tell you some of these things. So the answer to sales is what Gary has been trying to teach, and Craig teaches, and Big Al teaches, and many of our people teach. You have to understand your product better than the company does. You have to understand what possible solutions that you can present to your potential clientele that will help them because it helped you. And that is what you're sharing. When you go to my post on Bob Riddell, Bob, Riddell on Facebook, all you got to do is look at my post and you'll see my weight loss journey. And it is getting hammered. It is my number 3 post on Facebook. You know what my number 1 post is? Gary, tell them what my number 1 post is on Facebook right now with 8,000 views in the last 28 days.
That's a picture of you and your family.
That's part of it. But my post about this training.
Yes, that is part of
Is the #1 post on my Facebook profile, and it says nothing about any companies. It says nothing about how much money you're going to make. All you got to do is go to it and look at it. I let people copy it. Don't copy me. You get the post. Another gold nugget. Here you go. Do not copy don't hit the copy button on my I don't need you to brand me. You need to brand yourself. Open the post up and just copy it from top to bottom. And if the date's not changed, you change the date and then you post it on your profile. And then you save it there. You don't have to pin that post. Here, another gold nugget. Your pinned post has got to be about you and your family and your struggles and your dreams and your goals and your objectives. And if you're not doing that, you are not going to attract the people that you want in your life or the people that you want in your business. Gold nugget again. Write it down. Write it down.
Hey, Bob, I got one question I want to throw at the audience, and it would relate. You'll be able to relate to it more than every single other person out here. How many of you have ever been part of one of the older opportunities in the United States, at least till they went worldwide, which was called Amway, based out of Michigan? How many people have ever been part or been to one of their opportunity meetings? Give me a one if you've been, and two if you've only been to a meeting. And you use the products, that's fine. Do you know what the most cleverest thing that they ever came up with beyond drawing their circles and all the rest of it? They came up with something so unique. That was clever, Terry, but that's not where I'm headed. Here's where I'm headed. They came up with something they call Tape of the Week and Tape of the Month Club, using little cassette tapes. Now, the cassette tapes were messages from people that were successful in that business, but not just that. They had tapes for dentists. They had tapes for real estate people. They had tapes for doctors. They had tapes for a plumber. They had a tape for an electrician. Whatever niche or person that you can talk to. Amway had a success tape for that particular person. Anybody know where I'm heading with this? See, when we talk to somebody, do we get to know them first, or are we hitting them with our business upside the head first? Yes, before the internet, but the principles don't change. Sales principles never change. Okay? If I were doing sales presentation right now, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions you can only answer yes to. Why do I do that? You have to relate to your target. Not necessarily know, you have to be able to relate back and forth, have commonality, common ground. That's what Amway discovered early on, and that's how they used their Tape of the Month Club. Okay, so in your collection, if you were part of that company, you had a collection that you could fit the person you were going to talk to. You simply handed them a tape, they listened to the tape, and then you went back and get your tape back, and then you promoted your business. Okay? Does that make sense, guys? No, we talk about know your customer. Well, let's apply that same principle in a different way. Let's get to know our potential person we're talking to up front. Find out what makes them tick, what makes them happy, what is their interest.
Hey, Gary,
Yes,
let's talk to Dennis a minute.
okay.
Dennis Naha. Dennis, I'm glad that you put that out there, but I'm going to tell you, selling is the least important thing. It will
Absolutely.
never be the most important thing. As a matter of fact, if you're selling anything, this is why we do this training. If you're selling anything, you're doing it wrong. We're not talking about the act of selling. We're not talking about being a salesperson. Okay. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about learning from the old school people that Gary and I are, and Craig and Big Al and others like us, that we learned the old school ways of belly to belly marketing. We learned the old school ways of doing what? Of sharing and becoming problem solvers. You don't sell anything. You will share everything. You always want to share what you have with what? Who do you want to share things with? You want to share with those that are like-minded with you, and you want to share with those that are what? That are connected to you, and you want to learn how to share with those that are in the same type of world that you work in, and you want to learn how to share with those that are already in network marketing and MLMs. Now, why do you want to learn how to share with already people in network marketing MLMs? Because you don't have to explain what network marketing or an MLM is. Okay. So you have to learn what you got to, the first thing you got to learn, gold nugget again, write it down. Who is your target demographic? Give me a two if you understand what I just said. Who is your target demographic going to be? Okay. And it may not be the same, even though it's the same business, because you've got different demographics and different target markets that you have to decide what you're going to focus on. Now, you can't go after all of them at the same time. You have to specifically focus on one at a time. This is the same effect that people go, well, I'm going to do multiple income streams. Give me a 5 if you're doing more than one income stream right now. Give me a 5 if you've got multiple income streams that you're working on. And I'm not talking about multiple income streams under one umbrella. I'm talking about maybe you got one company, two companies, three companies, four, maybe you got 3 or 4 or 5 companies. Okay. Now there's some of you that are doing that. Now I'm going to ask a question and I want a very honest answer. All of you that are doing multiple income streams, that you're working with more than one company and you're promoting more than one product or service for an income stream, I want to know how many of you are making $10,000 a month consistently right now. Give me a 1. If you're making $10,000 a month promoting multiple income streams right now or more, give me a 1 and be honest. Be honest. Well, that's great. I see a couple of people, and kudos to you, because 97% of the people, first of all, write this down. 97% of all people are not making money with one income stream, much less any more. And do not kid yourself. Do not kid yourself. Do not attempt to try to do multiple income streams until you become successful with the first one. And being successful is not hit and miss. Being successful is the ability to make $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 a month, month in and month out, with one income stream. That's it. And I can tell you that my children, who are adults, are very successful. My daughter is 31 years old, and she makes $10,000 to $15,000 per month, month in and month out, for the last 24 years in her current position. My son took $500 and turned that into almost $100,000 in his trading account. He's not there yet, but he did it. But he took 7 years of his life. He's 34. He took 7 years of his life to learn that trade. 7 years, a few years, 2 or 3 years on paper, making the mistakes, learning what not to do. Look, folks, I told you 7 years, 7 freaking years I failed. Not 7 days, not 7 weeks, not 7 months. I failed personally for 7 years because I did not want to do what? I did not want to learn how to run a business from somebody else that was already more successful than me. That is your biggest hangup right now. You have to learn how to run a business. This is going back. I'm going to end this part of the training right here. We're talking about learning how to run a business. Why? Because if you don't learn how to run the business, you're not ever going to be successful, ever. So you've got to do one thing first. You've got to find a mentor. And the mentor will necessarily not be your sponsor, just won't, because your sponsor may not know any more than you do. Okay? What I'm talking about is connecting yourself to the hip, because this is what happened to me before I met Gary. I met a gentleman in 2007, in February of 2007. This is a true story. Everybody that knows me knows this story really quick. 8 months after 7 years of failure that I learned from my mentor, who taught me how to run a business, I acquired my own internet business property. And I went in and told my boss goodbye. I worked for a company that's very well known, Kimberly-Clark. I was in management with Kimberly-Clark. They're all around the world. But I went to my wife and I said, honey, I got an idea. I said, we've been trying this now since Rex has been teaching me for the last 6 months. And I've got an internet property that I was able to acquire. And we started making money. And in the first 3 weeks, now understand this. This is the gold nugget. I found a mentor that was willing to teach me, that was already more successful than me. And I listened verbatim to Rex. And I did exactly what he told me to do. And I did it every time I came home from my job. I spent every waking moment, night after night after night after night. You can ask my wife of 40 years and she will tell you that that's a fact. And I learned how to run my own business. And I took that business. And in the first 3 weeks, I was making more per week. Gary knows about this business. Craig knows about my business that I owned online. I was making more per week after 3 weeks than I made in a month at Kimberly-Clark. That's a fact. And I was making pretty darn good money. I was making $15 an hour, working 60 hours a week, 20 overtime. So you got to understand, do the math. Just do the math. Yes, there's taxes. Yes, there's 401k. Yes, there's health and all that. But do the math. It's pretty simple. And so 3 weeks into that, I go to my wife and I said, honey, I need your permission. Yes, I did. And if you don't think that you need the support of your family and your spouse or your partner to run your business, you are sadly mistaken. And I asked permission. I said, I want to go and turn in my 2 weeks resignation. She said, go do it. I drove right back. I was on my lunch hour, drove right back, walked in the door, turned in my resignation, and they said, we don't need your 2 weeks. And I said, thank you very much. And that was it. That was it. And now you fast forward to tonight. Fast forward to tonight. And we're getting ready now, but understand what I'm telling you. These are all gold nuggets. If you take them and you embrace them and you practice them, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of people that have done that here in a little bit. If they're still here and they are not too shy, and a couple of them are not too shy. But my point is, I can tell you more right now, and Gary can tell you more, and Big Al can tell you more, and Craig can tell you more in the next 2 hours, if we had the time, about what not to do. Write this down. We have 30, 60, 100, 130, right here, this panel of people, about 130 years of business experience in front of you right now. That is a fact. So we might be somebody that you might want to listen to, and not just listen. You write these things down, you go take them and you apply them to what you're doing in your life and see if they work. And if they don't work, you come back and figure it out. And if they don't work, you get the replays and start watching the replays. And if they don't work, you keep coming back, but you never quit. You never give up. Because if you do, you're done. Okay, before we get into the reason that a lot of you are here, all right, and you know, I asked everybody to not put questions about our business in here at all until I said it was okay. And you know, I just see, this is one of the things that bothers me more than anything else in the world, ladies and gentlemen. People do not take direction, and this is an example of people not taking direction when they've been asked very nicely since we started an hour ago to not put things in the chat that I've asked not to be put in there, because we're not there yet. And I don't like repeating myself. And I don't care if you don't want to hear it, because you're going to hear it and it's recorded, so you get to hear it again. And maybe that's why people don't like to listen to my recordings. You know, I've thought about that. And you know what? I don't care. Gary will tell you that I do not step on no eggshells. I don't give you any roses. I don't walk around it. I step right into the middle of it. You know, and there you go again. Another person asking a question that is not due to be asked yet. You know, why? I don't know. I've already told people that I know where these people are from, and I'm not trying to call them out by name. I don't want to do that. But they're proving a point. And what is the point? The point is you have to be able to take direction and understand, learn, and apply, and listen to what's being said, and just do what you're asked to do. Because if you go to your job, again, I'm gonna throw this at you, and I'm gonna be done with this. If you go to your job and you sit at a meeting and you start doing what these people are doing right now, first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to throw your ass out of the meeting. And I said ass. Second thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have a meeting with you. And I'm going to make it very clear to you that you obviously have a problem. And you're going to fix your problem, or I'm going to fix it for you. And you won't like it when I fix it for you. Period. And I don't care. And you may think that I'm an ass, and you may think I'm whatever, and that I'm not going to listen to this guy. And I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody else. Turn the channel. Change the station. Don't come here again. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. Just being perfectly honest with you. Yeah, Buck Harvey, you said it, not coachable. You're either coachable or you're not coachable. Okay, we're done with basic training. All right, now, before we get into a Q&A, we are going to do a couple updates. Craig, can you do, because you got a big team here, can you do a couple of updates that they may or may not understand or have heard yet?
Are we on our business now, mate?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So in your back office, it will say the 31st for the upgrade from the Matrix. Please remember, guys, it's the 31st USA time, not India time or Australia time. So there's an extra 24 hours there that we will all need to wait for the back office and the matrix to start going through the updates. The main update is that the company has found, what was the name? Bob? What was the name?
Z-Suite Technologies.
Z-Suite Technologies have been
Yep.
signed up by the company.
Huge company.
Yeah. Massive company, very, very professional. They're actually sending their own programmers to help our programmer in the Alps to put in all the payment systems required to be able to pay us next week. Now, it may not be Monday or Tuesday, but hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday, everything will be in place. You'll have a virtual debit card that you'll be able to move money onto your card, or you can do it in crypto if you wish. There will also be the option to transfer your money directly from your back office into your bank account, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, they've said that Z-Suite will be able to do other things. We don't know what they are as yet, exactly as per what Denise told us on the call on Wednesday night. So this is huge news coming, everybody. Yeah, so let's just wait till next week. The big word of the day for me is patience. This is 5 months we've been going through this. The company has done a magnificent job to get to where we are at this point. The mall is being built. There's roughly 300 items that have been okayed and separated, so you have the correct amount of profit going from each item into the mall mirror matrix and also the unilevel systems, so that we all get paid accordingly. So look, we've only got basically a week to go, guys. Let's have some patience. Let them get this right so they can get us all paid and we launch to the public. Once everybody in the public knows that we have been paid, there is no stopping how the growth of this company. It is going to grow just in numbers that we have never seen before. So every single one of you are in the right place at the right time. Please have patience. I totally agree with Bob. You need a mentor and you need a leader. The mentor is going to help you, guide you, show you ways of working, everything that you need to do to be successful in business. A leader is going to tell you exactly what you don't want to hear. And that's why Bob is our leader. You have to have someone that's going to tell you the truth. If you don't have that, you cannot be successful. You have to have both. Me and Bob will have arguments all the time. That's great. But at the end of the day, I will always listen to him. And you know why? Because he's bloody right. He's right. So you can either listen to him and build a big business, because I don't know the rest of you guys on here, but very few people have ever built a business above 20,000 people. So if you want to learn how to have 20,000 people in your business, then you're at the right place at the right time. But you need to be coachable and you need to listen. And yeah, I'll just finish on that note. But yeah, thank you, Bob, for everything you do, mate.
Thank you, Craig. Now, the reason I asked everybody to hold all questions is I put a link in there. I don't want anybody else putting any links in here except for senior leadership, which is the people that you see above here. So that link is a YouTube link for KYC. Okay, KYC is know your customer. Now, why did I put that link in there? Because it is a very short version of what each and every one of you are going to have to go through in order to get paid. Hey, Muhammad, I just asked to hold all questions. Please hold all questions. I want everybody to see this link. I want everybody to get this link. It's too important. Why? Because you are not, I want you to hear this very carefully. You are not going to get paid just because you have money coming to you. This is a business. The owners of this business, all 4 of them individually, went through what's called KYB before Z-Suite Technologies would even give them a contract to look at. Now, why is that significant? It is significant because it's know your business. Z Suite Technologies is one of the single largest financial solution providers in the world. In the world. They are not going to do business with just anybody because you've got a couple of bucks in your back pocket. No, ma'am. No, sir. This is why I keep trying to tell you, Craig, Gary, Big Al, all of the leadership try to tell you how serious this is and how serious this business is going to become for you, that you take it seriously. So the video, we are getting ahead of what's coming. And what's coming is the debit card. And we have been telling people for 5 months straight, we will have KYC before the debit card. Well, the debit card is coming and the payment solutions all at the same time in the same package from this company. And we will go through every one of us, including all of us here. We will all go through KYC. I told everybody many times that my name is Bob Riddell. That's what I go by. That's not my legal name. My legal name is Robert. Now you say, well, what's the difference? It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. And it would be the difference between me getting paid the day we get paid or not getting paid and having to wait because I made a fatal error in judgment and not used my legal name to begin with. Oh, KYC, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't even know what I'm talking about, that's why you click on that link. You click on that link and you keep that. And all of you that are leaders here, you click on that link, you keep it, and you share it with everybody on your team. That is your responsibility. Your responsibility as a leader with Gary and I and Craig and Big Al is that you lead by example so that you know KYC frontwards, backwards, inside and out, because you're going to get the questions. And if you don't know the answers, shame on all of you. Just that simple. We are now into the very serious nature of what we are getting ready to be able to take part of that's going to change your lives forever. KYC, simply put, is that you are identifying yourself legally with documentation that you will have to upload in your back office that proves that you are who you are. And every one of you folks, especially the folks from China, from India, from foreign countries, you have to legally identify yourselves 100%. And if you think that you're not going to have to do that, or you think that you're going to hide behind an LLC, you're not going to. You're going to be exposed, and two things are going to happen. The first thing that's going to happen is you're not going to get paid because you have not been confirmed. Simply uploading your documents is not going to confirm you to get paid. I want you to each understand this without any failure, because I will not accept anybody coming back to me, to Craig, to Gary, to Big Al, or any of our senior leaders and saying, I didn't know, Bob. I didn't understand that I had to be a legal person, that I was going to have to prove documentation, that I was going to have to upload documentation into my back office, and that documentation was going to be confirmed. Listen very carefully. For any of you all on here that thinks that you're just going to upload a bunch of paperwork and that Z Suite Technology investigators are going to just say, oh, yeah, they're okay, stamp them, confirmed, absolutely 100% wrong. I cannot stress the importance of what I'm telling you all right now. And that you don't understand it, you better get it understood. And there's only, I'm going to tell you, 306 people here. There's not 20,000. I can't hold 20,000, but that's not my job. My job is to get this information into the hands of my senior leadership team. Their job is to get this information into the hands of their leaders from top to the bottom. And you know who you are. And then your job is to make sure each and every single one of your paid members has this information in their hands. You can't force them to read it. You can't force them to take it, but you can show that you sent it. And you better timestamp, and you better have a way to prove that you did. Because when you're messing with people's money, the first person they're going to come after is you. Not me, not Craig, not Gary, not Big Al, not Helene. They're going to come after you as their closest leader. Then, because they don't understand, or they didn't get the information, or they don't pay attention, or they don't watch the replay, they're going to come up the ladder till they get to the highest person, and they're going to whine, and they're going to cry, and they're going to wail, and they're going to moan, and then they're going to try to get to the ownership because they didn't know, they didn't understand, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Now, I tell you that I don't have to waste my time or energy telling anybody any of this stuff. But I do it because I love each and every one of you, even though I don't know the majority of you yet. And we do this for your protection. Your protection, not mine. I don't need protecting. Craig doesn't need protecting. Gary, Big Al, all of our senior leadership, we know exactly what has to be done. We will be doing exactly what has to be done, and we will get paid. So I don't think I need to stress any more than that. Do I, Craig?
You muted, Craig.
That'd help, eh? No, you're 100% correct, Bob. Look, all the information has gone out. I've already put all the information to the top leaders. And I'll give you an example. The minute I put all the information into the leaders' rooms, and then I know it went down the groups because I'm a member of the group, so I know it's gone to all the team. And within 5 minutes, I get someone message me that I know has looked at the actual KYC and said, so when we get paid, we just get paid, right? Now, that was less than a minute after I posted the KYC video. So they didn't bother watching the KYC video. They didn't bother reading what was under the KYC video. So to Bob's point, we can only send the information down, but I have no sympathy whatsoever for anyone that can't be bothered to watch a simple video so they can get paid, or to even just read a simple sentence. Now, we are here to help, but I'm not going to say the sentence that I feel like saying. But I know Big Al just laughed, but that's reality, guys. We are here to help, but we can only do so much, right? We are not the company. We are members just like each and every one of you. We do not get paid to help everybody. We do this in our own time because our team means the world to us. So we give up 10, 12, 14 hours per day to help our team. But please understand, we do not get paid by the company at all, period. We do not represent the company. So I need to make that very clear as well.
There is no extension. Sorry, Craig. Apologize. There is no extension. Extensions are over. If you don't have your $120 paid by Friday at midnight, can't tell you what's going to happen. I can assume a lot of things, but we don't do that around here. The information is in your back office. That question right there tells me that that person hasn't even been in their own back office to read the messages that are back there. It's your responsibility to go into your back office on a daily basis as individuals and read the messages that are there. All the information is there. Nobody's going to read it for you and spoon feed it to you. That is not our job. Okay, to the point of a question a little bit earlier, if you have a specific problem with somebody signing up that you're saying cannot pay their 120, you go to your leaders. That we're not going to take the time to answer that here. We're in the middle of an updating and upgrading session that has got to be left alone. Got to be left alone. Okay? We're not saying that there's not problems that have to be dealt with. What we are saying is there is a protocol in place for how things are done and a chain of command. And your chain of command is you go to your leaders with your issues. And you better make sure you have all of your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Meaning, if you're getting a decline and it's telling you that there's a problem, the chances is that you're using a card that is not good to use. One, if you're using a straight debit card, it will not work. It never has worked, hasn't worked for 6 months. But people keep trying to do it. If you're getting declined, a lot of times it's because you're not letting your bank or your credit card company know what you're doing. We keep seeing this constantly all of the time. Craig, you got anything to add to that?
No, mate, I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay, Gary's telling you right there, send your ticket in to Zaps. But I'm going to tell you, I don't want Gary's posting that in here to have 500 people sending 300 tickets to info@Zaps World. I don't want that. They don't have time for it. They're not going to get answered. I want specific problems forwarded up your chain of command to your specific top leader, and they will come to Gary and I, and we will deal with it. But it better be legitimate, period. All right. Here's another one, 100% urgent extension, especially for India. Nope. The date is the date. The date is the date. Yep, some people don't read or listen. They absolutely don't. Hey, don't put your, folks, I told you not to post stuff in here. You don't post your ID number in here. You do not post your ID number in here. Never. That's like posting your link. I get your ID and I know the main link, and I put your ID behind your main link. You know what I can do with that? Lord have mercy. Oh, man. Not able to do the payment from credit card for activating the account. Run that up through your chain of command. Run that up through your chain of command. Any other questions? Run these up through your chain of command. And these all seem to be coming from one team, Craig.
I agree, mate. I'm just actually posting someone right now.
So, all right, we're going to stop with the Q&A for a minute because, let's talk about some things that you need to know. How many children did you say you had? Well, I've got two, son 34 and daughter 31, and I have a daughter that's 40 out in Ohio. Well, Diana, that is an issue. They charge 2 payments for one person on my card. That is a payment processor issue. And yes, that is something that you'll have to deal with. But I can tell you that these kind of things are not going to be dealt with from in here. From the question, you have more than that. Anybody else? Give me one last question, and let's make it a you know, there's no such thing as a bad question, but let's make it a question that I think you should be asking questions about the training. First of all, okay, that you got these kind of questions at this time, that a lot of these questions where you needed more time. Why do you need more time? Okay, because the only people now that should not be paid in are the ones that are just now coming in. We've got 500 new members joining a day. Those are new members, not people that have paid the $45 a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and still haven't paid for whatever reason. Craig, you want to answer that one? The one that you need to answer. I posted a question for my team member. Please inform me the process.
Sorry, mate, I was typing something to a person.
Yeah.
Sorry, which one? Which
Well,
question?
it's from MA, 8:41 p.m. my time. I posted a question for my team member. Please inform me the process.
I'll follow up through.
All right. How to obtain debit card. Wait a minute. How to obtain debit card and when KYC will start. KYC will start when they tell us it's going to start. That's the answer. And that's probably going to be sometime this weekend. We take things one day at a time, ladies and gentlemen, one day at a time right now. I'm trying to upgrade a few ID in my team, but maybe do what now? Suman Sharma, that's one of your people, Craig?
Yeah, what I'm going to do, mate, is I'm going to go through the person that we know.
Yeah.
And I'm going to handle all those individually. Because it just seems to be the same issue coming up through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll handle that internally.
Okay. Patricia, Bob, may we get your message by message for email or text to help team members with? Well, you have to be more specific, Patricia. Kaga's not really active, companies updated. I don't even understand that. What is the situation who completed registration and not made the payments due to the processor not working properly? Why are we getting these kind of questions now is my question. Why do we not know? Muhammad Ghalib, why are we getting these kind of questions? I want to know from you.
Beverly, there are Saturday training call replays. I'll leave my email in if anybody wants a replay from the past. Oops.
When payment option is opening. What payment options are we talking about? That's not very specific.
I've already answered that question at the beginning.
Yeah, they're not logging in. No, none of them are logging into their back office. That's obvious. They're just doing what they're doing right here.
Yeah. And let me make it very clear to the team in India. You have a great team. I have the utmost respect for all of you. But the reality is that the rest of the world is not having payment problems. So something is happening in India that is not linked to the company to have so many issues that no one else is having.
That we don't know about.
Muhammad, so Muhammad can help.
You know, these questions should not be coming here on the 30th of January. This is the 30th of January. Tomorrow at midnight is the 31st. We've been going, it's for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, we've been going through all these things. These kind of questions should have been 2 weeks ago. A minimum of 2 weeks ago, not now.
This is that other question that we got from MD. We
Yeah.
don't get payment emails anymore. It's an automatic process.
And how long has it been automatic, Craig?
At least 2 weeks now, Bob.
Yep.
Minimum.
And I want to know, Muhammad Ghalib, why your people don't know that. You wanted to get on here and speak? Let's talk about it right now. I'm telling you, I love you guys, but these questions are not legitimate questions, and these questions should have gone through the chain of command 2 weeks ago. Just letting you all know. And maybe there's a lack of communication between English, and I apologize. And I was hoping that you all be getting my words. I try to speak slowly tonight in Hindi. So if you didn't use the closed captions, I don't know what to tell you. I would apologize for that part. Okay, we gotta cut off the questions because we gotta wrap this up. Somebody was talking about a word for word. I'm going to give you a word for word. Now that we know what we know in DesAlps, and what do we know? We know that our business is online shopping. Write that down. Our business is online shopping. It is a multi-trillion-dollar industry and is right now being led by one company, not Shopify, not eBay, not any of those in the e-commerce industry. Is being led by Amazon. Why? Well, first of all, Amazon has got 30 years on us, and that's it. The owner of Amazon used to be Jeff Bezos. He sold the company, and he did it for him. That was it. Amazon, and the concept of Amazon started with one product. One product.
Books.
That's right, ebooks. And now they have 30 years worth of later. Okay, you have to understand what you have in your hands. The mall that we're calling it is going to be bigger than Amazon. I'm telling you right now. Those of you that are with us right now are in a very, very special place and time because we're not open to the world yet. The company owners are also members. You have to understand the significance of this. They are just like you and I. That means that they have to do things that are what? Beneficial to them. Tina, watch the video on KYC so that you can get prepared. And then when we are told KYC is open, it'll be through Z Suite Technologies, and they will have a very specific way of doing it. And it's probably going to be pretty similar to what you see in that video. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning to all. My questions are what? Why do customers come here? Anyway, let me get back to this. Look, you have to understand the significance of what you have in your hands. And so online shopping is a legitimate business. It's not a money grab. This is why no matter what you do, what you say, when you lead with a compensation plan, in a lot of countries, you're going to be illegal at best and suffer the consequences at worst. And all you're doing is selling the opportunity for somebody to make $10,000 a month if they just simply put $129 in here one time. Absolutely wrong. So what is DesAlps? Okay, DesAlps is two things. First of all, the vision and the mission are one and the same, that we are helping families around the world, one family at a time. And what are we helping them do? We are helping them straighten out, stabilize their financial issues first and foremost. We're helping people get the opportunity to quit working overtime. We're helping people to get the opportunity to retire their spouse first. I retired mine 4 years before I retired. We're giving them the opportunity to learn how to run a business to then retire themselves when they are ready. And then we will teach you how to retire yourself debt-free. If you want to learn how to take this business to the level that you are retired and retired debt-free and set up your children's children for generations. Give me a 10. Give me a 10 if you want to learn these things that I'm telling you right now. You will not learn this in school. You will not learn this at university. You will not learn this anywhere in the world except right here with us. The value of our training is worth 1,000 times more than the investment that you make one time here. And that is what, if you want to sell something, you're selling value. You don't even have to sell value. All you got to do is share the training link and bring them here. They'll get the value. The ones that apply it will see the value. They come back for more. Then they're going to come to you and say, hey, I want the whole enchilada. I want it all. And the only way to get it all is when they do what? When they do what, Craig? How do they get the whole enchilada when they find out that the training that we're teaching them works, but they want it all?
That's when they start making money, mate.
Yeah. And they do what? They join you in the Zouts.
Yep.
And we have this every week. Craig, could you qualify that every week we have people that come back to our training and then ask the person that invited them that they want to join us in this Zouts?
Absolutely, mate. That's how you grow your business. You don't grow your business by throwing all these links all over the place. You will get nobody. And it gets to the point with Facebook that the more links you just throw out there, you actually get no audience whatsoever. That's how Facebook's analytics works. So it doesn't work. So please learn from what Bob is saying. It works, and that's how you grow your business. If you want to learn how to grow a business, learn it from someone that has already grown one.
And that's why we've got so many teachers here. We don't even have half of our senior leadership team here tonight. Okay. Because they're busy doing other things with their family and whatnot. We get that. We get that for you too. We know that I applaud. First of all, let me just go back and on the positive note, tell you all, I applaud each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to give us the time to help you. Each and every one of you. Yes, I am Crash. Yes, I am the way that I am, but I do it for purpose. And I will tell you that there's ladies on this call that know me very well, that I have been mentoring, that I have been teaching. They've been my students for months, and they have all accomplished one major thing. They have listened, they have learned, they have applied, and they don't have just 2 people anymore. They don't just have 2 levels anymore. Some of them already have levels 4 and level 5 full. The numbers don't lie. Here's a question. Here's a question to everybody. All right, here we go. If you've got at least your first 2 personals and they're ambassadors under you right now, meaning you are fully qualified for the entire compensation plan and you are already in profit, give me a 1. Give me a 1. I'm going to prove to you what we've been talking about all night. And about 100 people left, but that's okay. The rest of you are going to get the juice now, as Amy speaks of. All right. Now you just saw that. Now, everybody that's got their second level full, give me a 2. If you've got your second level full, give me a 2. I want you all to see this. I want you to see something that you do not see in 90% of all network marketing companies or MLMs. You don't see this. But we're talking about not free members. We're talking about paid members, fully qualified for the entire compensation plan with only 2 people or more, and are already in profit before we even get paid. All right, here we go. Level 3. If you have 3 levels, give me a 3. If you have 3 full levels of people, give me a 3. I want people, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see this. Do you know how many's on each level? It's pretty simple math. If you've got 4 levels full, give me a 4. If you've got 4 levels full, Now, you don't have to have them completely forward. You know the numbers. Do the math. Okay, you don't have to be balanced left to right. They all count in your personal matrix. If you've got 4 levels of people in your personal matrix, give me a 4. If you've got 5 levels in your personal matrix of people, give me a 5. Do you see this, ladies and gentlemen? Do you see the numbers of people? You need to give a hand. You need to give a hand to each and every one of these individuals right now, because they are doing one most important thing. They are coming to the Zooms that we do for business. They are coming to the trainings that we do to teach you what you have to learn to build your business. And then they are applying the principles that we teach, and they are succeeding. You see it right here in front of you. Gary and I started 5 months ago. 5 months ago with only 2. Right, Gary?
Still only have 2.
And then how many weeks ago was it that we built this to 20? We say 23, I'll just say 2,500. How many weeks ago to 2,500?
I'm gonna say 5 or 6 weeks ago we hit that. Maybe it's a little longer. I can't remember. But it
Okay,
wasn't all that long ago.
so listen very carefully. Gary and I started with our 2. Our 2 had their 2. Their 2 had their 2. And we built this just like we still do, level by level, fully qualified, already in profit from day one to 4 weeks ago. Okay, we've been doing this for 5 months. So in 4 months, it took us 4 months. Listen to this very carefully. About 3 or 4 months to get to 2,500 total team. This is the end of 5 months. Our total team is over 20,000 paid ambassadors underneath Gary and I right now. You have to understand the significance of going from 2,500, and then 4 to 6 weeks later, we are at 20,000 plus ambassadors under Gary and I. The numbers do not lie. The whole company only has 30,000. I'm short on the numbers, but I'm using round numbers. Okay. We have over 70% of the entire company. Gary and I have 70% of the entire company underneath us. The team in India is one of our largest teams in the entire company. Bravo. Bravo. Kudos to each and every one of you all. The team in China, India, you got a challenge. The team in China is over 10,000. Muhammad Ghalib, you've been challenged. The Chinese team is over 10,000. That they are all under us. They're all under my wife. They're all under my daughter. And they're coming to my son. I have my whole family in this business, legally, ethically, and strategically. I hope you heard that. That was success leaves clues. I'm going to say it again, write it down. I have my whole family. My wife's on my first level. My daughter's on my second or third level. My son's on my fourth level. They have builders above them and below them. Craig is my builder and a very close friend and a very big business partner of mine for a long, long time under my wife. That's correct. I got interviewed by the company. They wanted to know who Lee Riddell was. I told them, my wife. They wanted to know what qualified her to be there. I told them, because I said she could be there. And you're going to tell me that she cannot be? Then we got a different issue to deal with. But I qualified this by not being an ass about it, by proving to them that I had the quality of a builder, and we had just gotten started. We didn't have 20,000. We didn't have 10,000. We didn't have 5,000. We didn't have 2,000. We did not have 1,000. We had 100 in our first week, Gary and I. And Craig is on my wife's first level, left leg. Daughter is on her first level, right leg. My daughter is protected above and below. So is my son. Strategic, ethically, and legally. That is a gold nugget. I hope you wrote down. Okay, now we're going to wrap this up. We're at the top of the second hour. We're going to shut this down. I want everybody to understand how important it is that we get through these next few days. These owners, again, they are members just like we are. So they live and die by what's happening right now. But we all are in the same situation. They had to legally identify themselves and go through a rougher documentation than you and I are doing. They had to put their financials up. They had to put their bank accounts out there. They had to do a lot of financial identification that proved to Z-Suite Technologies that they are not just who they say they are. They are able to do what they say they're doing, both financially, legally, and strategically as well. And that's why Z-Suite Solutions, Z-Suite Financial Solutions Technology Company was picked to be the financial solution for all of us, because they're also handling crypto and not just USDT or USDC. So you're going to be able to get paid in crypto. Different forms of crypto are coming. You're going to be able to get paid in US dollars. That was a must. US dollars being able to transfer into our debit card, or which has no caps. The debit card that we got is going to be virtual first, but no cap. That means no limits. Do you realize how big a deal this is? And it will hold crypto, not just US dollars. You have to you have to understand how big a deal this is. You really do. All right, Gary, you got anything left before we shut this down?
Oh, I think we're just over 2 hours.
Yep.
So that's
Craig, you got anything left to say? Final words?
Yeah, just one, mate. Like I said, we're obviously very, very proud of everybody in the DesAlps business. Just very quickly, I've worked out why India is having payment problems. I won't say it here, but I know why it's very specific to India. I'll talk to you later about it, Bob, and I'll talk to Mohammed about it as well. But
Okay.
it has nothing to do with DesAlps.
Okay. Thank you, Craig. Big Al, last words.
Yeah, thanks again, Bob. From day one, I committed to make sure I learnt the business. I committed. That was to me. And I learned something every single time I come here, every single time without fail. So all I can say to some of the people who've been putting those questions in there, you make sure you get on the replays. There are nuggets in every single replay. It's never the same presentation or training twice. So go through them all. You will find those nuggets in there, and then you will grow exponentially, because it's those nuggets that make the difference. That's when the aha moment happens. So thank you very much, Gary, Bob, and Craig. It is wonderful to work alongside you. That's why we're building such big teams. And I look forward to seeing everybody else on the next training session. Be there.
Next
Bring
Thursday
a
night, same
person.
time. Same time. Every Thursday night now, same time. So
Bring
thank you.
somebody
Yes.
and double your business. Bring somebody.
Put the challenge out there, Big Al. Put it out there.
Absolutely.
One person. Craig gave you the process. Bring one person. Everybody brings one person, and we went from 300 to 600. We'd have to up our Zoom to 1,000 people. I need to up the Zoom to 1,000 people. Then I'm going to put everybody on a platform where we can have 20,000 at a webinar. We will do this, but it's all dependent on you all, not us. This ain't about me, ain't about Gary, ain't about Big Al, ain't about Craig, not anymore. Our families are well protected. Our families are going to be fine. Our jobs now are to make sure that we give you every chance to do the same for you, your family, and any family you want to touch. But I will leave you. I did make a promise, Big Al, that I would leave them with a little bit of a opening before we shut this down because I need it recorded. Okay. So I said that our business is online shopping. I said that Amazon is the #1 for now. For now. And they will not be able to touch our business model because they do not pay anyone to share their business model. We do. And our business model includes a Groupon part. If you don't know what Groupon is, do a search on it. But coupons are the single largest things that people do. Besides shopping online, people want to use coupons. Can you imagine having a coupon that has your link embedded in it and you just use your digital coupon? How many people are you willing, bold enough, brave enough, brazen enough, I guess, if you think you have to be, to hand out? Right, Big Al? Do people shop online, Big Al?
One or two might shop online, Bob. That's why it's the fastest growing maker of millionaires, digital, e-commerce, all of them, all of these multi-millionaires are in some form of digital business.
Yep.
There might be a clue there. There might be a clue.
That's a big clue. So here it is. It's simply put, get your pens out, get your paper ready, and write this down. This is what you're going to say. This is your icebreaker, if you want to call it. Do you shop online? Write that down. Do you shop online? That's your opener. Now, you have to understand, it doesn't matter who you talk to now. It doesn't matter if you're talking to your next door neighbor, you're talking to your business partner, you're around the water cooler at lunch. Do you shop online? It's a simple conversation with 4 words. Do you shop online? And they're going to tell you, well, yeah, I shop online. Well, how often do you shop online? Because now you're going to qualify some things. How often do you shop online? Once a week, once a month, once a year? Simple question, right? The next question, do you want to save money shopping online? Do you want to save money shopping online? The answer is going to be yes. How can it not be? Next question, would you like cash back every time you shop online or you use your debit card anywhere you go? Simple question. How would you like cash back every time you shop online or anywhere you go with that debit card? Final question, and this is the big one. Would it be okay if I paid you every day to shop online in your own shopping mall? Did you just get that, ladies and gentlemen? Would it be okay if I paid you every single day because you were shopping online in your own mall? That's it. I don't know how it can get any simpler than that, Gary.
You hit it on the bell.
That's it.
All right, we're going to stop the recording right here.
There you go.